Hey guys, this is Market Update. In this video, we're going to look at how the market is positioned. Should you be buying here? Should you be taking risk? Bitcoin is at an all-time high. We're seeing some crazy stuff happening, right? With a lot of memes and everything like that. Is the market overdone? Or, are we actually positioned pretty well for another leg higher? Let's have a look at that. Bitcoin is going to reject from its all-time high. That's just a very classic move. People take profits there. Short-term traders take profits, right? People just have this psychological thing of, it's at an all-time high, let's sell and take profits. I get that. It always rejects from here. However, we rejected down to this support level. You can see the white line here is a support level. We rejected down. We rejected off that to the upside, and we're still printing a green candle for the week. So there's nothing here that's showing any sort of weak price action whatsoever. The ETFs are still seeing huge inflows, spot buying, So that is not speculation. Now, because the market knows that there's a huge inflow to the ETFs, when there's a buyer in the market, what are you going to do to the price? You're going to bid it up. Just like down here, when everyone knew that there were forced sellers in the market from FTX and Celsius and everyone else, what are you going to do to the price? You're going to dump it. You force the market to pay prices that they don't want to pay. When you know there are sellers, price goes down. When you know there are buyers, you bid the price up. It's just the way it works. These are bull and bear markets. These are market phases. I don't think we are in a negative phase. You're going to get these drawdowns, but they are within the longer term uptrend. So let's have a look at this, because you can see each time we come into a previous all-time high, we get rejected, right? So this was a couple of cycles ago. So the all-time high was here. We got rejected and some choppy trade, and then we just go much, much higher after all of that is cleared. If you look at the previous bull market, you can see again, we had a couple of weeks just right here of kind of sideways trade and choppy trade as we come into the previous all-time high, right? You clear them out and you go a lot higher. So that's happened twice. Is it going to happen 3 times in a row? We don't know what's going to happen, right? But we are nowhere near the top of this cycle. Taking profits, no way. History tells us that you buy the all-time high. You buy as you go into it, because this isn't stopping down. The ETFs are still having huge inflows. And so this bull market is nowhere near done. It's still time to take risk, in my opinion. I am still taking risk. If you trade, check out Bybit, deposit bonus up to $30,000. Link down in the description for that. Apes are going to push prices to where they don't deserve to be ultra short term. But if you're looking over the next 6 to 12 months, it's such an easy, simple scenario. Huge inflows from TradFi. We're seeing rate cuts starting to be talked about by the Fed. It's as simple as that. That's going to carry on for a while longer. Now, in the ultra short term, you're going to see funding rates. Go to CoinGlass and see funding rates. When funding rates get up to this orange, the market's just way overdone. 150% you're paying to long Bitcoin if you're trading futures and you're speculating. These have to get flushed out over time because they're just way overdone. So we had a flush. Funding rates are still higher because it's a bull market and people are just going to ape this stuff. So that's just how bull markets operate. So if we look down to the last 6 months, you can see this is a kind of bear market. Funding rates are very low, almost negative. That is changing. You're getting now flat to positive. And that shows we're in a bull market. Just look, if you are trading short term, not to kind of ape in when things are getting really, really overdone, because they have to clear out. That's where we get those 20, 30% drawdowns or those wicks down. You need to clear out the apes and then kind of start again. But the fundamental is that the real TradFi flows are just this wave of liquidity. And that is the real story. Holding spot. If we can see here, again, I don't think the market is overdone. I'm talking about cycles here, right? So 4-year cycles, not day to day. It's too unpredictable at this stage. It's too volatile. If you look at long-term holder MVRV, this shows us cycles. So Onchain is what you should be using if you are looking to trade out of a cycle, or if you're looking for a price or an area where you don't want to buy because you think things are just way overdone right here. Look at Onchain. MVRV tells you this. So when MVRV spikes up, this is the blue line, that's when things are really overdone, right? Way overdone in terms of the market is just way above its kind of long-term trend rate of growth and its, its price cycle. As you come down, these are massive buy zones. So MVRV under 1 is like the absolute best buy zone in every bear market. Doesn't feel like it because prices are low, but that's the best time. And then as we come up to the red zone at 3.5, that typically tells us we're in like a very hot bull market, which, is okay. But obviously, prices are getting a little bit higher and short-term trades become, less juicy because prices are higher. And so you're getting into a mature bull market. They're not really times to take huge amounts of risk. Ironically, that's when a lot of people come into the market and take risk, and they're taking risk at the totally worst time to take risk. But this is why you get the drawdowns as well, which is actually where investors are active. In any case, MVRV is not 3.5 yet, it's 3.28. So you can see a big recovery here. So obviously that comes with the price. But for Onchain, we still aren't like in massive bull market territory. So as we cross through the all-time high, which we may reject from here or come down, this is why Onchain is so great, is that just take the price out. If you just accumulate Bitcoin or crypto, whatever, when Bitcoin is under this, right, and you just do that whatever the price is, assuming the continued growth of BTC, you'll be getting these at pretty good prices. So as we come out of this is when the Bitcoin price is starting to get a little bit rich, but it's not there yet. So 65 is irrelevant. We're trading at 65K, 66K, it doesn't matter. MVRV is telling us that, it's getting more rich, but you're still not in this peak bull market territory. Another big narrative, which you can see right now, and Ethereum is doing very well, is the potential Ethereum ETF that will be coming up in around May. That's the last decision date. Now, BlackRock, Fidelity, and all the others have applied for Ethereum ETFs. I don't think they would do that unless they're confident of that being accepted. Remember, BlackRock never filed for a Bitcoin ETF until Grayscale won their case in court against the SEC. As soon as that happened, BlackRock filed, and that was the start of this bull market. BlackRock are not going to file if they don't think they're going to get the ETF. So for me, that's really all the signal that I need. Now, there's a lot of wrangling over this because ETH is a little bit more muddy in terms of its status. The SEC have very clearly said that Bitcoin is a commodity, and they've never really said that about Ethereum. The thing is with Ethereum, though, is it's already trading as a commodity on the CFTC's regulated futures markets. That's exactly what Bitcoin did before it was essentially made into an ETF. The court in the state said, if Bitcoin's trading on futures markets, on commodity futures markets already, then you have to employ the spot products as well. So the SEC lost, and that's when the ETFs came. Ethereum has been trading like that for a long while already. And so if you look at this as well, the head of the CFTC has actually said, from my understanding, essentially talking to my staff who have reached out to the SEC, that Prometheum, which is this fake exchange that was set up by anti-crypto factions in America to try and kind of disturb the industry. It's very, very bizarre, to be honest. But the head of the CFTC is saying that they think Ethereum is a commodity. Bitcoin and ETH are commodities. And he believes that any claim that this weird fake exchange is making that Ethereum is a security is not reflective of the SEC stance. So from what I read by this, look, the CFTC, which is the commodities regulator, has said Bitcoin and ETH are commodities. We trade them as commodities on the futures markets. The Bitcoin ETF exists because a court of law said if these products are traded as commodities in futures markets, you then must also allow for spot products. That's what I see. I also see BlackRock and Fidelity and everyone else has applied for the ETH ETFs. So unless there is some problem with staking, or they think that they can't pass the staking back, and there's something else that may go on there, Ethereum is a commodity from what the CFTC says, and the ETFs are applied for and expecting to be approved. So maybe the SEC comes out with something else to deny it. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't have the inside track here. But you can see how Ethereum is reacting as well. It's sympathetic to the Bitcoin rise. It's underperforming a little bit, Usually what happens is Bitcoin outperforms first, and then towards the latter stages, ETH outperforms. If ETH gets the ETF, that is its narrative for outperformance in the latter half of this bull cycle. If it doesn't, then you may see some short-term selling, but I think it still goes higher anyway, because the reality is, it's a lot smaller, and the people that are involved, they can trade it anyway. But it seems like Bitcoin and ETH are being carved out unless something else happens with the ETH ETF that I'm not aware of. Why would BlackRock and Fidelity apply for an ETH ETF if they thought it'd be rejected? Then they'd have to sue the SEC. It's just not how they do things. They get things done first, and then they go through the paperwork. So that's how I read it. We don't know, though. If the ETH ETF is accepted, I think that's the next narrative and, the next kind of leg up for the bull market. If it gets rejected, then, some leverage positions are going to get wiped out. You're going to get wrecked in those. I just think that's how it's going to work. I don't know. Volatility is our friend, unless you're trading with leverage when you're going to get wrecked. But that's up to the individual. Trade on Bybit up to $30,000 deposit bonus. Check out the Crypto Investor course link below as well. 300 videos and private Discord groups. I'll be updating it throughout this year with my on-chain data and just showing where the market is positioned. I'm James, this is my ZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.